Hi students, this video is again about getting the gist. This is video number 2 on getting the gist. So there's a little bit more practice here using photograph. Okay, again, there's a couple of questions that you can always ask yourself when it comes to getting the gist. You can first ask yourself, who or what is this mainly about? And when you're thinking about who or what is this mainly about, you can look at the subject, right? Think about the nouns, right? What do I see? I see people. They're probably on a ferry. They're wearing masks. They have cell phones. There is a window in the back, right? And back beyond the window, I don't know if you can see, there's the Hudson River. Now, how do I know that? I know that because in that distance I can see there's the Statue of Liberty, right? So I might think about, okay, these are all the nouns that are in the picture, right? And then I say, well, what's important about these nouns? What's important about these commuters, these people that are maybe going to and from work? Well, they're wearing masks, and so that's maybe a big deal, right? It's during the pandemic, we know that. There's the Statue of Liberty, and that's really important. So what's the photographer trying to say here, right? What's the most important thing that he or she wants us to think about, okay? Or know about, right? And then finally, after we answer those two questions, we put together the information and try to write out a gist statement, right? Usually in about 10 words or less if possible, okay? So when we answer the first question, we might say something like, well, people commuting on a boat across the Hudson River across from the Statue of Liberty. So that means that they're New Yorkers, right? They probably live there. They look like they live there, right? They're commuting. They're wearing masks for safety, right? And then two, to answer the second question, we might think about, well, the photographer might make us think about, well, the balance of liberty, right? The freedom to go where we want, to move around, freedom of movement, those kinds of things, right? To go to and from work, but also the responsibility of like wearing a mask, right? And maybe the balance of the two, right? You can't have freedom without responsibility, right? And so that's what the photographer might think. And then you might take those pieces of information and write out a gist statement in 10 words or less. And if you're interested in doing that, you can always do that for a little assignment and send it to me. Okay. Again, this is the second video talking about getting the gist. Let me know if you have any questions or problems.